The morning mist clung to the pine-covered mountains as 38-year-old Nathan Cross returned to his remote cabin after 3 days of hunting in the high country. The solitary life suited Nathan well. Having retreated to these mountains 5 years earlier after losing his family to illness back in Missouri, his cabin sat in a hidden valley where few travelers ever ventured. And that was exactly how he preferred it. As Nathan approached his property, he immediately noticed something was wrong. Smoke rose from what appeared to be the ruins of a smaller cabin about a mile down the valley. A place he knew belonged to a trapper named Henderson who worked the streams during winter months. More troubling, Nathan could see a figure moving near his own cabin's roof. Someone who clearly did not belong there. Nathan approached cautiously, his rifle ready but not raised, unsure whether he was dealing with friend or foe. As he drew closer, he could see it was a young woman, perhaps in her 20s, with long blonde hair and wearing a torn brown dress. She was perched precariously on his roof, apparently trying to reach something or hide from someone. "Ma'am," Nathan called out, keeping his voice calm and non-threatening. "Are you hurt? Do you need help getting down from there?" The woman looked down at him with eyes that held a mixture of fear and exhaustion. She appeared to have been through some kind of ordeal with dirt and soot marking her clothes and face. "Please," she called back, her voice shaking. "Are you alone? I do not know who I can trust." Nathan set his rifle aside and held up his hands to show he meant no harm. "Yes, ma'am, I am alone. My name is Nathan Cross, and this is my cabin. You are safe here. Let me help you down." The woman studied his face for a long moment, then slowly began making her way to the edge of the roof. Nathan positioned himself to help her down safely, noting that she moved carefully as if she had been injured. Once she was safely on the ground, Nathan could see that she was indeed hurt with a bandaged arm and bruises that suggested she had been through something traumatic. "My name is Sarah," she said quietly. "I was staying with Mr. Henderson while traveling through to Oregon Territory last night. His cabin was attacked by a group of men who had been tracking me. Mr. Henderson told me to run while he held them off." Nathan felt a chill as he understood what she was telling him. "Henderson is a good man. What happened to him?" Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I do not know. I heard gunshots after I ran. I climbed onto your roof because I could see riders searching the valley, and I was afraid they would find me." Nathan looked toward the smoke rising from Henderson's cabin, his jaw tightening with anger at whatever violence had taken place in his peaceful valley. "Sarah, why were these men tracking you? Are you running from the law?" Sarah shook her head quickly. "No, nothing like that. I was married to a man back in Kansas who turned out to be violent and dangerous. When I tried to leave him, he threatened to kill me. I have been traveling west trying to get far enough away that he cannot find me." Nathan studied Sarah less than greater than S face and saw the honesty in her expression along with the fear of a woman who had been genuinely terrorized. "How did your husband find you here?" "He hired men to track me," Sarah explained. "They have been following me for weeks. I thought I had lost them when I met Mr. Henderson, but somehow they found us." Nathan made a decision that would change both their lives. "Sarah, you are safe now. Those men will not find you here, and if they try, they will have to deal with me first." Over the following days, as Nathan helped Sarah recover from her ordeal, he learned more about her story. She had been married at 18 to a man who seemed charming and successful, but gradually revealed himself to be controlling and violent. When she finally found the courage to leave, he had sworn that he would track her down no matter how far she ran. Nathan also discovered that Sarah was intelligent, resourceful, and remarkably resilient despite what she had endured. She helped around the cabin without being asked, proved to be an excellent cook with the limited supplies available, and showed a knowledge of wilderness survival that impressed Nathan. Nathan said one evening as they sat by the fire, "I have been thinking about your situation. These mountains are vast and there are places where someone could disappear completely if they wanted to start a new life." Sarah looked at him with hope and curiosity. "What do you mean?" "I mean that Nathan Cross could help a woman named Sarah disappear and maybe help someone new begin again with a different name in a place where no one would ever think to look." Sarah felt tears spring to her eyes at this offer of genuine sanctuary. "Nathan, why would you help me? You barely know me." Nathan looked at this brave woman who had endured so much yet still maintained her dignity and kindness. Because everyone deserves the chance to live without fear. And because Henderson was my friend, and I suspect he died trying to protect you. Over the following months, Sarah indeed began a new life in Nathan's hidden valley. She took the name Mary Henderson, honoring the man who had sacrificed his life to help her escape. Nathan taught her advanced wilderness skills, hunting, fishing, and how to defend herself if she was ever again threatened. But more than just survival skills, Nathan and Sarah discovered that they had found in each other exactly what they both needed. Nathan's loneliness was healed by Sarah's warm presence and intelligent companionship, while Sarah's fear was replaced by a sense of security and purpose she had never known. 1 year later, on a beautiful spring morning with wild flowers blooming across the valley, Nathan and Sarah were married by a traveling preacher who had stopped at their cabin. They exchanged vows not just of love, but of protection and partnership in the life they had built together. "You know," Sarah said to Nathan, as they stood together on their cabin porch, looking out over the peaceful valley that had become their sanctuary. "I used to think that running away was cowardly. But sometimes running away from the wrong life is the bravest thing you can do." Nathan smiled, thinking about how his solitary existence had been transformed by this remarkable woman's courage. And sometimes the person you were running toward is worth more than anything you left behind. 5 years later, Nathan and Sarah had built a thriving homestead in their hidden valley. They raised cattle, grew crops, and had become known throughout the region for their hospitality to travelers and their willingness to help others who found themselves in difficult circumstances. Their cabin had become an unofficial sanctuary for people who needed a fresh start. And Nathan and Sarah took pride in helping others discover that it was possible to build a new life when the old one became impossible to sustain. "You saved my life that day when you helped me down from your roof," Sarah told Nathan one evening as they watched their young son play in the yard. Nathan shook his head, holding her close. "No, Sarah, we saved each other. You reminded me that a life worth living is one that is shared with someone who understands that the past does not have to define the future." As the sun set over their peaceful valley, Nathan reflected on how a chance encounter with a desperate woman on his roof had taught him that sometimes the most valuable thing we can offer another person is not advice or money, but simply a safe place to rest and the time to heal enough to begin again. The mountain man who had chosen solitude had discovered that the greatest strength comes not from standing alone, but from standing with someone whose courage matches your own. Building a life together that is stronger than anything either could have achieved alone.